Hi everybody, we are in our RV right now because it's hot outside, but we're going to do a quick video. We are in Hardin, Montana at the Hardin KOA. We're doing a little catch up. I'm going to do some video editing in a little bit.
Right.
But we had a lot to catch up on. We left Medora campground in Medora, North Dakota.
North Dakota, yep.
So we were there for the Teddy Roosevelt National Park. I participated in the North Unit on the first day. We did a hike there, right?
Yep, we did a hike, and then we came down to this really cool lookout point and had lunch there. And we did the drive around the park. Yep. And so we've seen lots of buffalo and deer and
some pronghorns that day, but of course prairie dogs.
Prairie
one of
dogs.
My favorite.
Yep. So yeah, it was really nice. It was about an hour north of Medora, so we had a little drive time, but we're still in Indiana time. So we're getting to the parks actually before they open, which is really nice because number one, it's cool, and number two, it's not very crowded.
It's been very hot since we really started our travels. Starting in Iowa, it was very hot. Dakotas were very hot. And the campground at Medora is really kind of a dust bowl. No grass or anything, just a dust bowl. Great location.
Great location.
Next to the South Unit entrance for Teddy Roosevelt and the Little Missouri River's behind it.
The Little Missouri River, yeah. And on the way there, we wanted to go back through Deadwood because we had been there before and it was late in the day, it was very crowded, but we wanted to go to the cemetery where Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane are buried. So we thought, well, we're going to leave early in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll go, and I looked at Google Maps, and I saw it on the Google Maps. I thought, oh, there's a big parking lot. There's room for the RV. There's room for the truck and the trailer. We'll get there early. We'll get out. We'll look in the cemetery, and then we'll be on our way. We wanted to stop in Sturgis really quick.
Yeah, but there wasn't room. The road to Mount Moriah Cemetery said no RVs or no trailers, so we were fortunate. We found a Family Dollar store. Donna went in, talked to the employee there, and they said, yeah, we could park in the parking lot just to purchase something.
Yep, we had to get 2 Pepsis or 2 packs of dollar cookies. So I got merely a couple Diet Mountain Dews, and Shana bought a couple Pepsis. We were able to park our vehicles in their lot.
And then it was a walk straight up a hill.
Yep, she said it's a very brisk walk. It should take about 10 minutes, and it's straight uphill. She goes, but there are city steps. She goes, I wouldn't recommend them. So we ended up just walking up the hill. But it was nice because Lucy was able to go with us.
It was. So at the cemetery, which is very well maintained, and the markers are very nice, Donna went in and I stayed out with Lucy, and then we switched so that I could go in.
Yep, and we actually got there before it opened, but it was really nice because they have pamphlets that they leave outside. So you can actually, if you want to do a whole walking tour of the cemetery, you can do that. So it was a cool place to visit.
It was worth it for us.
It was definitely worth it.
Perfect time of day at the beginning of the day because there was no crowds. But then when we were leaving, we knew we were on a time crunch. Coming down the hill, we thought we had like 12 minutes to get back down to the RV and camper and leave because it was like rodeo days.
Yeah.
So we're having a parade.
Every year they have this big parade called the 76 Rodeo Parade. And they actually shut the streets down for 2 hours. So it was either we get out as quick as we could or we were stuck there for 2 hours.
So I felt like we were on a parade route. I was waving at everybody. A few people waved back. I wish we had candy to throw out.
Yep.
But we made it out of there in the nick of time, and then I think it was like 25 minutes we went back through Sturgis.
Right, and they have a great coffee house there, Sturgis Coffee House. It was a beautiful place. The coffee was great. Shana was able to pick up a t-shirt that she really wanted from the Harley shop, and then really pretty much we were back on the interstate.
Yeah, and we came to, that's when we headed over to Medora.
Right, that's when we got to Medora.
That was like the Dust Bowl.
It was a Dust Bowl, but it was a nice campground. And after our first day of hiking at the North Unit, we took Lucy over just like you could walk over a hill and you were at the Little Missouri River. Now, this time of year, it's not much of a river. It's more of a couple puddles. But Lucy was able to get in the water and stomp around in the mud a little bit. And so that was kind of a cool thing to do.
And Donna had to give her a bath before she could get back.
Yeah, she had to have a bath.
RV.
But and the ice cream got better. We stopped at the Medora ice cream and fudge shop, and I had some birthday cake ice cream, and I'd say it was a solid 9 out of 10.
So after the playing in the river and stuff, the next day, day 2, the campground had a scheduled power outage, which I was concerned about leaving Lucy alone. We don't have an auto start on our generator, so Donna and Shana and Lynn took off early in the morning. You went to the south unit to do
the
hiking.
south unit, which was just right around the corner. So, and again, being on Indiana time, we were there before the park opened. We got in there. We hiked probably close to 2 miles in on one of the hikes, and then 2 miles back out.
And then you did another hike after that.
And then we did another little short 1.5 mile hike. Saw a lot of prairie dogs, like a lot of prairie dogs. We saw, the cool thing is we're walking in the south unit of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It's one of the only parks that has wild horses. So literally as we turned the corner, we got into the park, we saw wild horses. And then as we did the drive-through, we saw multiple little herds and a lot of buffalo, a lot of prairie dogs and rabbits on the hike.
But then it was early because you got an early start.
Yeah.
So they got back, we had lunch, and then Lynn stayed back because she was going to make ribs for dinner in the crock pot.
Yep.
And we were going to drive to Elkhorn Ranch,
Yes.
and
It's
was
considered the central unit of Teddy Roosevelt National Park, which was again about a 45-minute drive.
and a little bit of a hike afterwards, maybe a half mile out.
3/4 out, 3/4 back. So.
And there's a historical marker, there's historical significance there because that's where Teddy Roosevelt went, and maybe if he didn't go there we might not have had the national park system that we do today.
Right.
But it was very hot.
And the road back there, we drove like maybe 10 minutes on the interstate, and then you get off on the road to go back to this particular site, and it was a dirt road.
30 miles of nothing but dirt. The truck went in like a creamy white, and it came out red clay, dirt, sand.
Oh, it was bad.
Filthy. But we did that, and then we came back to the visitor center, and so besides Elkhorn Ranch, there's Maltese Cross was another one of his cabins that they've rebuilt it to specs or to how it was. But it had also been, I think, at one of the World's Fairs.
I think it went out to Seattle for the Seattle World's Fair back in the 60s, and then they brought it back, and now it's at the south entrance. And it's a really cool cabin. It has a lot of artifacts in it. It was hard to film it because it's all behind glass.
So then we had dinner, leisurely evening.
Yep.
And because it was really, really, really hot out.
Yep.
And then the next morning we had a leisurely breakfast and took off to head over here to Montana, to Hardin, Montana.
And believe me, Janet, we looked for a car wash. It was 45 minutes away, so we did not wash the car that night. But as soon as we got to the KOA here in Hardin, Montana, Marilee started the wash. She said, Donna, you finish the wash, and Shana and Marilee took off, got the truck washed actually twice, and then came back, and Shana and Lynn and Marilee cleaned up all the vehicles.
Yeah, so that's part of it, driving on the road with bugs and dirt and everything, trying to keep it clean. But then, so today we did Little Bighorn Battlefield and the National Cemetery that's there, and the monuments to to Custer's Last Stand and the Indian Memorial, and that was pretty solemn.
Yep. Those monuments like that are, like we were talking about today, it's like they weigh a little heavy on you.
They do, yeah.
Reading about the history and what happened, and those are a little heavy.
So after that, they went to have Indian tacos at
across the street at the Indian Trader place. I can't remember what it was called, and I got an arrowhead for my little buddy Alden.
Yeah, and so then I had them drop me off back at the RV so that I could take Lucy out for a walk and make sure she was okay, but do some video editing because I'm still learning every day, and it is very time consuming, but I'm enjoying it. And then it gave me some time to pick up around here and stuff.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. Every time I make a suggestion like, hey, can you put a word in this, or can you add a still photo? Within 15-20 minutes she's figured it out, and she's doing it.
Well, so Google and YouTube helped me a great deal.
Right.
So,
but we wanted to go to another national monument called Pompeys Pillar, which I had never heard of prior to this trip. But what it is, it's this big sandstone rock in the middle of the desert. It's pretty close to where the railroad went through. And the reason why it has significance, historical significance, is because William Clark actually etched his name in the stone in 1909, and they have preserved it, and you can still see it. And the reason why he did it is because when he got there, he saw that the Indians had put their drawings on there, and so he added his name. And so now it is a national monument, and so you learn a little bit about William Clark. And the reason why it's called Pompeys Pillar is because Sacagawea's son was born on that exploration, and his name that Clark called him was Pomp, or Little Pomp, which is Pompeii.
So I got to stay here, Lucy and I doing that. So we're back. We're just getting ready. We head out tomorrow to Yellowstone. So we just want to do a quick recap.
Yep. So what's cool is we've gone over back and forth across the Yellowstone River. So we're getting, it's like a teaser, and so we're very much looking forward to going to Yellowstone. And it's really cool that Marilee's doing these videotapes, or these videos, I shouldn't say tapes, but videos of our adventures, because I'm looking forward to it, because everything's going by so fast for us right now. So I'm actually looking forward to getting home and kind of watching the videos again to remind me of everything that we've done. And she's doing a great job on it.
Now I only get a little taste because I want to enjoy it as well.
Right.
And some of the stuff I feel like maybe it wouldn't be appropriate for me to film everything, like the battlefield and stuff like that. But no, so we're having a great time.
Yep.
The heat's supposed to break next week. We're going to be in Yellowstone for 7 days, and we'll catch up with you then.
Yep. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit like, and you can subscribe. And even if you want to get notified, hit the little bell button, and it will notify you whenever we post something new.
So thanks. Take care.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye.
And we're off. Morning, Marilee. So we're in part of the Black Hills Forest, in this beautiful lake over here. I'm going to go over Marilee's shoulder. Is Pactola Lake. And coming down the mountain, oh my gosh, it's just incredible. Really cool views. And we're going across the dam right now. So really cool.
We're at Mount Moriah Cemetery. Me and Lucy are waiting here because unfortunately there's a sign that says no dogs allowed. So Lucy and I are just going to wait over here. Deadwood and Mount Moriah Cemetery, stopped in Sturgis, switched drivers, and we're heading out on our way to Medora, North Dakota. Lucy.
And here we are at the Medora campground in North Dakota.
And I just got a helpful reminder from our friends Lynn and Shana that we're about 20 miles from the border to get my camera ready. So we'll see you at the border. Bye-bye. Welcome to Montana. Montana time. Donna has another time zone, I think, maybe to get.
I'm still on Indiana time.
Okay. We're in Montana now. See you later.
At our next camping spot, it's the Hardin Montana KOA. Ooh, you're missing it. Lucy's decided to be a little bit of a pill. I think it's because we had a little bit of weather, so she's. Alright, pardon me for my shoddy camera work because she's been a pain in the butt trying to sit on my lap. Here we are at the registration. Good job for getting us here, Marilee. And here is the no fun part of traveling in an RV. Marilee is cleaning the front of the RV. It had a bunch of bugs on it. Ugh, they were really big and gross.
There's nothing.
So,
Great fun.
yeah. So, you can tell she's already done the windshield. It looks great. Shana and Lynn are right over here. Ooh, they're big time camping. They even got their rug out.
Well, we were cleaning. We were cleaning. We did not want to bring the red clay dirt of North Dakota into Montana.
Into Montana.
All right. It was pretty dirty in South Dakota.
It was.
So, oh my gosh, and Janet, if you're watching,
Look at
your
that.
truck looks brand spanking new.
You didn't want
That
to see it
is
about an hour
nice.
ago.
Look at this. And the front of their trailer looks awesome. Look at this, Janet. I think.
She never needs to know what it looked like.
Oh my gosh, this is looking good.
She never needs to know.